Hello, guys, and welcome to another stream of Worldwide F1. It's your host, Matt, back again. Oh,
Can't hear you.
Wayne, you take over.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show again. Unfortunately, Matt's had mic issues, but obviously we're going to talk because obviously it's now the summer break. So we haven't done a video in a while, but fortunately things have been coming up and we've been busy. But obviously we've joined the right time with a lot of information coming in this weekend. A really good Grand Prix, qualifying. And the race was really good with the weather about. And then obviously, as you guys have probably seen yourselves, Ferrari, again, with the choices with Leclerc, they let him down and they had the race. I think they should have won the race if they really looked at it, done the right strategy, but again, it's wrong strategy and it's affected themselves. Look at Mercedes, they're consistent, back in the top three again. Hamilton looks like he's hungry again. Russell is being consistent without the season doing anything major. He's just been very consistent. You look at Verstappen, he just came out of the blue, and it looks like after the qualifying session that Red Bull would struggle with the engine, and they'll be struggling for the Grand Prix. And both Verstappen and Perez done really well. So yeah, it was a very good weekend in general. A lot of overtaking, what was a bit surprising at the Hungary Grand Prix. Some people didn't do as well as they should have done, like Ricciardo again. It's like a broken record every time on there. But something needs to be done with him. And there's other drivers, surprisingly Alpine. I thought they'd do better than they did do overall. But I think, again, they had bad choices I think they made. And then obviously today, the breaking news today we're going to talk about as well with our opinions on Vettel and obviously Alonso taking over. And we'll give our opinions on all these topics. Obviously, hopefully, Matt sorted his mic out.
Can you hear me now?
No, he hasn't sorted his mic out. It looks like he's having a fun day, Matt. But what I'll start off while we try and sort this out. Obviously, with the pre-practicing, it looked like it would be Ferrari's weekend. They looked very strong. Verstappen was thereabouts, and then it was McLaren as well was up there. So Mercedes didn't look as quick. They was very consistent, especially with the weather, what was supposed to be happening. They looked like they was going to be in rather trouble because they couldn't get the heat in their tyres. So obviously qualifying on Saturday came and pre-practice. It was wet weather. So obviously everyone's thinking now that's going to be interesting. You look at Williams was up there. It looked like it's going to be a very good Grand Prix. And then obviously next thing you know, qualifying starts. Now, the first bit of qualifying, Latifi went out with no surprise. Albon was another one. Mick Schumacher, I believe. Gasly. So there's no real big surprises except for Vettel, maybe with their brand new ring they brought in. They thought they would do better than they did in qualifying. But you want to try?
Is it working now?
No. I don't know what's going on with you. And then obviously we got next to a lot of qualifying happens, and it's a mid-table. The big surprise really was Perez. He went out in 11th. But then it was a normal lot. There's no real big surprise. But the weather was not coming in, and so it looked all day long that it was going to be a dry qualifying, and it favoured all the rest of the drivers. Then obviously the top 10 came along, and then after the first sort of runs, Verstappen was seventh. I think Leclerc was pole. Or was it no? Sainz was pole. Leclerc was second. And I think it was Norris was up there, but I can't remember exactly. I think Russell as well. But the Red Bulls straight away that they were struggling. Then all of a sudden, they were all going for the runs. Verstappen kept on complaining about his car. It needs to sort his car out. He couldn't get no power. So he couldn't improve on his time. And then, so he ended up going 10th. And then Ricardo ended up being 9th, what I was pleased with, but still disappointed because he did look like he'd be quicker than that. Then you had 8th was Bottas, and he was getting up there, surprising. He's done really well. Then 7th was Hamilton. Was another surprise because we thought he'd be up higher. And then 6th was Ocon, if I'm right, or was it Alonso? But it was one of the two, those 5th and 6th, joint with themselves. Then the 4th was Norris, what I was really happy with, getting himself up there. And then the top 3, they're fighting for each other. Sainz, Leclerc and Russell. And it was surprisingly that the Ferraris were quick again, but Russell outdid them both and got his maiden pole. Was really good. He deserved it. He's always been good in qualifying. We've always known it since Williams days. But for him to get the pole finally, get that position, see Mercedes back up there was a really good thing to see. Yeah, like you said, Ferrari are. It's just don't understand it with them at the moment. But we will get into it, of course. But and then obviously, so the race came, and there was no. It's supposed to be a hot day, warm day, but it ended up being colder than it was on Saturday. The weather looked like it was coming in. Even Total Wolff said it could be major showers. So everyone expected that. So everyone done the tyre choices. And start off, Russell had a really good start. Verstappen started off really well with Perez. Both of them went down, past a lot of cars. Norris started off solidly, but faded away. Ricardo faded away. Bottas faded. So it was an interesting way of seeing it. And then Verstappen just went through the group. Him and Red Bull did a really good job. Can't deny that. Game plan worked to the T. Perez did all right. He was solid. He just didn't have the same pace of Verstappen, but he did his job. Mercedes with Hamilton, brilliant. Again, what he did, great job. Can't deny the solidarity of him at the moment. If you look at back in Azerbaijan when he couldn't even get out the car because of and since then, and seeing what he's done since, and what the car has become, it has been an absolute miracle in my opinion. It's really good to see because obviously we want more cars involved at the top front. It's good to see him back at the end, seeing how hungry he is. But Russell did really well, faded away at the end, but he got third position, was good. But the big talking point for the whole weekend was Ferrari again, and well, my opinion is there's something from top to bottom wrong with Ferrari at the moment. They got decisions are getting really badly made at the moment for strategy, pitting, the way times are going out for qualifying, to just the way they are at the moment. And then you look at the type of car as well. It's the fact that How many times this season do they have to have NG engine or brake or something wrong with the car and it at the wrong times? And Leclerc and Sainz are doing everything in their power to do what they can. It's not on them. It's to do with everyone below and with the team round them, and it's just so poor at the moment. And it's not the Ferrari that we all know and love throughout the years. It just seems very disjointed. Um, they need to sort it out because this year, if they didn't have the engine problems, they could easily be either leading or just behind Verstappen. But it's just not happened for Ferrari. And I know Matt's can go into it because Matt's loving it at the moment watching Ferrari struggle. But is it working now?
Can you hear me?
No,
What?
can't hear you. This is fun. But it's shocking to see what has happened. Obviously, another incident that happened is with the Alpines. Ocon from the start pushed Alonso into the wall, and not like he didn't hurt himself like in the crash, but he learned getting the same respect Alonso would give him. And then I think it was a pit stop, and when they came out, they was fighting for each other, and it basically cost each other a position with Ricardo, and he passed them both. And I think it was just shocking to see that as a teammates because you got to work it out as so you're fair for both, not just do that. Yeah, I think he should. I think the buck starts with him, and if he's as a team principal, if he's not doing the right thing for the team, then he needs to go. He can't. There's no ifs or buts about it. I don't obviously know who will take over from him, but like you got Charles Horner, he's been doing this for such a long time, and if he was in the same position, he would expect to have the issues what be out. So don't think it's fair to Ferrari to keep him in, really, in my opinion, Edward. But thank you for the question and keep asking questions, smashing that like button, please, guys. No, we don't like you, Alfred. Go away. But yeah, big up to everyone. Obviously, it all really means a lot for you being here, and that means a lot to us. Unfortunately, Matt will fix his mic sooner or later. Because I don't want you to listen to me ramble, because that's what I do, ramble. Big up, Nippon. I'm just a head in the middle, guys. Head in the middle.
Oh! I thought.
You are in Nippon.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So, Ferrari having issues again. What a surprise!
Is this me or no one can hear no one? Just for me.
What, you can't hear me? Jesus. Chat. Can you hear me?
I can't. In the chat, can everyone ask, can they hear Nippon and can they hear Matt? Because I can't hear them.
Wait, yeah, Nippon, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Wade, it's you.
Look, I can hear you.
Wade, it's you. You go sort out your audio.
To me?
Yeah.
Matt,
right.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Nippon. What an absolute shambles. Wayne, you go sort out your audio. Get in touch with Alfred. Alfred will be able to help.
Yeah, I'm on my way to my job interview.
Nippon, you are looking like James Bond-esque right now.
Yeah, the only thing missing is the Aston Martin.
Oh yes, yeah. Well. That you just suaved into an exact topic debate. Thank you, Nippon, for that. This is why we have you on the stream. Hopefully, Wayne's hearing can help. Wayne, can you hear us?
Can you hear
Wait,
me?
Wayne. Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we
Yeah,
can hear you. We
the
can
other way
hear
around.
you.
I can't hear any of you.
Wow.
Anyway, so we will talk about Aston Martin. Obviously, Vettel dropped an absolute bombshell midweek saying that he is going to retire due to family reasons, which for me, understandable. I still think it's a bit too early, but it is what it is. He's won 4 world championships, so it's the best. He's one of the best drivers on the planet, full stop. So it's good. But it was even more of a shock for some people, not me, but some people, that Alonso is now taking his place at Aston Martin. Nippin, I'll start with you. What do you think of that move? Do you think that'll be a good move for Alonso?
First of all, I wish Sebastian Vettel the best of luck in his retirement. I'm one of the best drivers I've seen watching Formula One and being a petrol head, motorhead myself. And I think Fernando Alonso will do a really good job taking his reins.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting move. It feels like a bit of a downgrade for Alonso, but I feel with the issues of I don't think he gets on with Ocon very well, and it's been clear to see for the last few races. We know if Alonso doesn't get on with someone, he's not going to stay. So it doesn't surprise me that he goes to Aston Martin, who realistically should be doing a lot better. And hopefully with Alonso, we know he can get the best out of any car and get it
Ocon
into...
is Ferrari, isn't it?
Huh?
Ocon is Ferrari, isn't
No,
he?
he's Alpine. Same teammate.
Oh.
You're getting confused with signs. Anyway, Wayne, I'll come on to you. I've put the question in the chat, so hopefully you'll be able to answer in some sort of swift manner.
Yeah, I think it's a good move for Alpine because they needed to do that. Especially with, I said this to you, I didn't matter about him. He should come in now. They've been looking to get him in anyway. I think, and with Alonso, it's obviously give it a chance for Alpine, but they're not giving him the car. And with Aston Martin, they might do that for him, and he will become that leader. He will become, without a doubt, he's definitely going to be the better driver in Aston Martin. So it'd be interesting to see. But I was working this out earlier, and I want to ask this question to everyone in chat and the panel, and see if they get it right. How many teams has Alonso driven for in Formula One?
Ooh.
Renault, Mercedes, Renault, McLaren, Alpine. Are you? I'll ask
I'm
this.
going to say 4. I'm going to say 4.
I'm gonna say 5 because I don't know whether he counts Renault.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Minardi, Alpine, Renault, Ferrari, McLaren, and it'll be Aston Martin will be the 6th.
See?
Nice.
So Wayne, you can hear us now. I assume that's a no. Okay, anyway, yeah, 5. So yeah, I get it right. I know at least a little bit of F1 knowledge. I do know. But there you go. It is what it is. And Wayne, I will put it in. If you look at Edward's question, which I will put in the chat because otherwise you can hear me. What? Let us know, guys, in the comment section what you think. Whether Piastri will get a seat at Alpine next year. Because I think that would be very good for Formula One. It's a talent that needs to be in Formula One.
A lot of people are saying Pierre Gasly is the next Romain Grosjean. Do you think that's accurate?
Gasly's useless. I think he's useless.
Okay. Yeah. It will be good to see him in. He's a really good. I think he's a really good driver. But the thing is, he's only had 1 season in Formula 2, 1 season in Formula 3, and then he's been promoted straight away. So there must be something there. But is he going to be another driver like the rest of them that haven't had that? They're supposed to have potential like Mick Schumacher and that, and have not really done anything. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. It will show that Ocon will be the team leader now. But if I'm being honest, I think he'll have better. He'll be better than Ocon for Alpine next year and onwards. I think he will be better than Ocon. I just don't know with Ocon. I think he's stalled. I just don't think he's moving any forward now. I think he's found his position. But with Piastri, I think he's got levels to go up.
Yeah, definitely. I think Wayne is right in the aspect of the fact that Piastri does not have the experience in terms of, as you said, he's only been in any sort of F1 in
What
2
happened to
years.
Wayne?
He's probably trying to sort out his audio. But yeah, he's only been there 2 seasons in F1 in any sort of Formula racing in general. So I think it'll be a big step for him. But he is a talented driver, and it's nice to see as many talented drivers in as we can. We've got too many Mick Schumachers of the world. We've got too many Lance Strolls of the world that don't deserve to be in Formula One. They're only in F1 because their daddies have been in. One of their daddies was in F1, and the other owns an F1 team in Aston Martin. That's simple as and less of these drivers should be in Formula One, because otherwise it will make it more competitive in the fact that actual drivers will be able to drive in these teams.
Too much Neapolitanism, whatever that name is. I can't exactly remember how to say it.
I get what you're saying.
Nepotism.
Nick and I
Yeah,
agree.
too much nepotism in the game. Honestly.
No, Edward says no. I think he'll be Leclerc, Russell level. Mick is a level below. Mick's a couple of levels below that, if I'm honest, Edward. I think Mick is down in the Stroll levels, down in the Latifi levels. I personally don't think Mick should have a seat next season. I think he will because of who he is and the name he's got. But I just don't think he's a very good driver at all. I think he's blocking seats for other people. Whether I think Russell and Leclerc are on the same level at the moment is another question, because I think Leclerc has been very shaky at the best of times at the moment, and is proving when he's at the top, he's struggling to cope with it, even compared to Verstappen, who I don't think copes with it very well either. But at the moment, there is no one up there competing properly with him, which is a shame. But yeah, it is what it is. Going, obviously, nipping back into the race, because obviously I missed the discussion because Wayne couldn't hear me. Not that anyone else could have heard me. Chat would have been nice if you told us that you could hear me. But there you go. But yeah, so Verstappen wins another race, nipping from 10th. Hamilton comes second from 7th. Russell, despite being on first, he manages to keep his podium in the end. And it's another double. It's another Mercedes podium double. Nipping,
what can
did
I
you
say?
think of Verstappen in the race?
Well, congratulations to him. I'm not going to be a salty person. I'm just going to be, a good sports person. Even though I hate him with a passion, I think it's safe to say that he won. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix, right?
Yes, you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it was Edward. I'm going to say Lewis Brazil is top 110%, but there you go. But I do think fabulous for both Lewis and Max to do what they did, come from 10th and 7th respectively, coming into first place, first and second. I do think, if I'm going to be honest, I think Max was lucky that there was only 1 lap left and not 2 or 3 laps left, because I think with the soft tyres and the grip he had more with the incoming little bits of rain, I think Hamilton would have caught up and potentially overtook him at that point. But fair is fair. He did a very good job, especially when he had that spin. I thought, has he messed his tyres up? Is he going to go 30 laps with them tyres messed up? But he managed to
negate his game. He did have a bit of luck because, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari being them, typical this season, they absolutely just ballsed it up completely. Went on a strategy that everyone knew was going to fail, and then cocked it up even more by going back off that strategy and going on the one that everyone should have gone on anyway, and ruined his race. But it is what it is. What did you think, Nippin? Obviously, everyone kind of knew that hard tyre was not working. You could see it on the Alpines, Alonso and Ocon. Ricardo, I think, had it, was struggling. Gasly and Tsunoda. They went on it 20, 25 laps and they weren't working at all. Yet Leclerc decided that was the good tyre to go on, and the Ferrari. Did you at the time think that was a bit stupid?
Yeah, look, soft tyres are always the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, at that point as well, when you've done the two longer tyres, everyone else is going on softs. Yes, you're behind, but then you just have to race yourself back through. I just didn't get the idea because it was obvious that the hard tyres weren't working, and it was the fact that other people who had gone on the hard tyres were switching already because they didn't like it. I just didn't really understand the logic behind it, and I think it just, if I'm honest, it baffled me. That's all I can say. It completely and utterly baffled me, that happened. I just, I don't know what to say. But I do think, to answering Edward's question from before on Bonotto, should he go? He won't go now. It's just the idea of Formula One. I don't think they'll do it like that. At the end of the season, if what I think is true, and I'm going to say it now live, I do think that the final drivers' championship will be Verstappen winning his second championship, Hamilton in second place, and Russell in third. I believe all of Perez, Sainz, and Leclerc are going to continue their reasonably poor forms that they've had, and will not be in second and third place. Which, if that happens, and Ferrari are fourth, fifth, or sixth in terms of their drivers, I can't see Binotto staying after what they've done, and how close they've been, and how bad Mercedes have been. Yet they'll still probably get second place in the constructors' championships the way things are going at the moment. So I think he will go at the end of the season. Do you think Nippin, the Binotto, the team principal, should take the chop? Because at the end of the day, it's all you have to lead from the top, don't you?
Of course, of course. And bottling a lead is unacceptable, whatever the circumstance.
Yes, it's like Tottenham. I don't want to bring too much football in, but Bonotto's doing the Tottenham thing.
Yeah. Look, if you want to remind me a driver who reminds me of Tottenham, it's Bottas.
Oh God, I don't want to slag off Bottas too much. Wayne, oh no, Wayne's completely gone. Oh, he came and went. I think he's really struggling with his audio, but there you go. Edward says Ferrari strategists are too focused on other cars when they clearly have the fastest car. They should be running their own race, but thankfully they're idiots. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say thankfully because I still think Mercedes can challenge them without them being idiots. But there you go. And I kind of want Ferrari there so they can take more points off Verstappen, and Hamilton and Russell could potentially come back into it at some sort of extent. But as you see, Verstappen's completely running away with it now. And if anything, I'd argue that Mercedes, as much as I wouldn't like it, Mercedes getting better is actually helping Verstappen win because it will take even more points away from Ferrari. It won't take points off Verstappen; it'll take it off Ferrari.
Wait, how is Mercedes getting better, helping Max Verstappen, who plays for another team? Who drives for another team?
Because Ferrari have got 60. Leclerc has got about 60 points to make up. So if Hamilton and Russell are doing much better and taking more wins away from Leclerc, that is meaning he's got less points and less chances to make up to Verstappen, who doesn't really care if if Hamilton wins, he only cares if Leclerc wins. So Verstappen has got that benefit of a 60-point lead that he can just mull over while Ferrari and Mercedes battle off of who can get the most points out of each other. So I think Verstappen would love more competition right now rather than less.
Why? Why do you want more? Why would a sports person want more competition
Because
when they want to
Verstappen,
run away with it?
yeah, but Verstappen has already run away with it. It's like at the moment, Verstappen is Man City. Man City are up and away compared to everyone apart from Liverpool. And currently, in a way, Mercedes, Ferrari are fighting like Tottenham and Arsenal. They're fighting for the scraps. Man City don't give a shit if they're fighting for the scraps because they've already won it. But the fact that they're taking more points off each other means that uh, it allows Man City just to go on as they are, or Max Verstappen to go on as he is, and go on and win the championship because they'll be taking points off each other rather than Ferrari getting majority of them points and getting therefore closer to Red Bull.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. Perfect.
But what makes
Obviously-
Red Bull? What have Red Bull done to run away with everything?
They haven't done, if I'm honest, and Edward's not going to like this, they haven't really done anything. Ferrari have just completely just made mistake after mistake after the mistake and tripped over themselves more than anything.
So basically, Ferrari's downfall is Red Bull's game.
Yeah, basically. And it's also Mercedes' game, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Obviously, well, actually, we'll go and get into that now. Obviously, Lewis Hamilton, George Russell picking up podiums every it seems like every week now. In the last 5 Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton's only finished second and third in them Grand Prix, picking up 5 podiums in a row, which when you were looking at the beginning of the season, when Hamilton couldn't even get out of Q2, it was a shock, and it was horrible. But he has done very well, and obviously Russell, 2 podiums in a row for him as well. Are you happy to see Mercedes improving and looking like, obviously they're not back, but on their way back to glory?
Yeah, I'm happy. And more than anything, I'm happy for Lewis Hamilton.
Definitely. I was changing the subject completely. I was watching some football league football because obviously the Premier League is not available at the moment. So I thought, why not go watch a football league team in Ipswich Town? And actually, one of Ipswich Town's centre backs, Donatian, has the number 44, which I was like, why has he got 44? That's a weird number, and it's because his role model is Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton is a role model for everyone out there. You don't see anyone with Max Verstappen's number on their shirt in football.
What is
Only
Max
Lewis
Verstappen's number?
I don't even know, like 30 something, 33.
30.
No one cares about that number.
Exactly.
I'm glad Edward agrees with me on something for once. But yes, Mercedes will get second, and that would be fantastic considering how the season's gone. Nippin, where do you think Mercedes have improved? So obviously it didn't look like Mercedes were ever going to improve, and then suddenly they've managed to hit the ball running. How do you think they've done that?
I think just better decision making on when it comes to engine, tires, that.
Yeah, definitely. Edward's got a question for us. Thank you, Edward, for all these questions. Big up Jose, who has just joined the show. Make sure you smash the like button, Jose, would be appreciated. Yep, he says smash that like button. Anyway, but Edward's question: do you see Max's number in every team over the world? Not. Oh, that is
Oh
just
my God, goalkeepers.
That is disgusting, Edward. No, I'm just taking that comment right off and putting Jose's back on. There you go. He's not number one. Number one, the GOAT, is Sir Lewis. You don't hear Sir Max Verstappen because you'd have to pick. You'd have to actually decide what country he's from
But
first.
he can't because he's not a Commonwealth national.
Well, no, but whatever their Netherlands or Belgium's version of knighthood is, he's got to decide which one he's from at the moment because he doesn't. He seems to have a struggle which one he's from. But there you
So a
go.
bit like Jack Grealish.
Yeah, a bit like Jack Grealish and other players. But going into obviously the race itself, obviously there were other people that had good and bad times. Obviously, Wayne isn't in here to talk about his favourite driver in Daniel Ricciardo, but Daniel Ricciardo, once again, as Wayne said, like a broken record, just seemed to flop in the race again. Nippin, what do you think's wrong with Daniel Ricciardo at the moment?
I think it's just, again, decision making.
In what way? In terms of strategy, race, or
No, pit strategy.
do you think it's just that? Because surely every race he can't be struggling with pit strategy.
Hmm. Um, I think it's just the engine then.
Yeah, but then what? My problem would be why is Norris doing so well? Personally, I just think he's kind of lost his mojo and maybe his passion for the game, for the race. He doesn't seem to have that. Yeah, he's never been like. He's always been happy, Daniel Ricciardo, and he's always lived off that persona, and he's that kind of helped him make him a better racer. He's never really had that aggressive grit, but he doesn't even walk around with a smile much anymore. You don't see him so much that Daniel Ricciardo smile.
How
And I
old
think
is he?
Daniel, I think he's early 30s now. I'm going to quickly look this up while I'm on screen. I think it
Has
is
he
early
has he
30s.
ever won a Grand Prix?
Yeah, he's won a couple of Grand Prix in the past when he was at Red Bull. He was born in 1989, so that makes him about 32, 33,
Yeah, 33.
33. So he's getting old. Well, he's not old, but I think he's getting to that point where he's struggling to get anywhere.
When
In
was
this,
the last time he won a Grand Prix?
I think it was at Red Bull. I think I remember distinctly he won Monaco a few years back, but that was a long time ago. I can't. If anyone in the comments, like Edward, know when Ricardo last won Grand Prix, then let me know. I know he's had a couple of podiums since then, but he's not been on it for a while. And I think McLaren need to get someone next to Norris who will challenge Norris and get Norris better. Edward has a hot take about Norris. Meanwhile, I hope Wayne is not uh, the on the comments, otherwise he won't like this. Norris will never win a world title. Leclerc, Russell, Max, and Piastri will see to it. Uh, I think Norris needs to think carefully of where he wants to drive in his career, because I would agree to you in a point that I don't think he'll ever. Um, yes, Edward. Now I remember. Thank you for reminding me of that. Um, yeah, I think Norris. He'll never win a world title in a McLaren. I don't think this McLaren will ever be good enough to compete for a world championship. And unfortunately, I don't know where he's going to go in terms of getting into a world championship, because obviously you've got Russell at Mercedes at the moment. You've got Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Um, you've got Verstappen,
Aston
who's
Martin.
signed Aston Martin.
Aston
I don't think they're
Martin.
going to be up. I don't think they're going to be up there for a world championship. To be honest, I don't think they're anywhere near at the moment. But if you look at Red Bull, Verstappen's there on a multi-year deal. Perez is there, and Red Bull have a host of just young drivers that they've got to get through. I don't think they'll look at Norris with Verstappen. I don't think Verstappen would want that. And then Ferrari again, Leclerc signs. I think they're happy with them too at the moment on fairly long-term deals. So I don't see. The only thing I could think of is does he do a Lewis Hamilton and go from McLaren to Mercedes once Lewis Hamilton goes? Because obviously that's a big stop. But then again, you've got Piastri,
who is coming in, if he does really well, then I think Mercedes will probably look at him to get into the car. Red Bull will look at him to potentially get in the car. Obviously, there's lots of different teams that will fight for him, no matter who he's contracted to at the moment. But I don't see where Norris goes in terms of that. So maybe he has just made the wrong decision of committing to McLaren, and maybe he should have done a Russell and committed to Mercedes first. Because I think if he's in a Mercedes, he might be able to win the title. But there you go. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens when Wayne does come back on, if he does come back on the stream. We will ask him that question and see what he says. Nipping, obviously, getting into kind of driver of the day, obviously, I think it is between two drivers, and I think it's going to be depending on your bias to say who you say is that driver. So who do you think was your driver of the day?
Okay. Heads, Verstappen. Tails, Lewis Hamilton.
Okay.
Okay, that fell down. Okay. It is Max Verstappen. Heads.
Fair enough. I've never seen a coin flip on the stream, but Nippin, this is why you come on. You are legendary in terms of you have your own style. I would.
Look, my unique selling point is that I can be live from anywhere at any time at any given point.
Exactly. You're
Right
driving
now,
I
am live from the Sainsbury's car park in Cobham.
I hope you do well with your job. How long you got till you need to go?
My interview's at 4:15, so I'm going to go at 4 p.m. To prepare myself.
We will probably finish at that time anyway. So that's all good. In terms of my driver of the day, I don't like to say it, but I'm going to have to pick Max Verstappen. I think he did. You can't deny he did fantastic to go from 10th. Fantastic start to get through. Drove his strategy very well. Pushed very hard. And yeah, run a perfect race. And if Max Verstappen did that more, then he'd impress me a little bit. But unfortunately, he's too much of a crybaby to do that. And half the time, he just wants to ram drivers off the pitch, off the race track. But there you go.
Does he even care anymore? Like, race properly.
Today, I didn't mind him at the weekend because he actually just drove like a proper race driver and actually raced and overtook people properly rather than just ramming people off the racetrack. Which, if he did that more, I'd like him more. But there you go. It is what it is.
Is slipstreaming allowed?
Yeah, nothing against it.
Yeah.
Well, Nipping, we need more overtakes, not less overtakes. So that as long as they're not literally ramming them off the pitch like this track like he does, then there you go. But I do want to give praise to Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, again with a much lesser car than Verstappen and the Ferraris, managed to do a similar sort of thing. Obviously, maybe had a couple. He was just 2 or 3 laps too less. Otherwise, I think he would have given Verstappen a real fight for that top place. But I think he did fantastic, held it there, kept out the way when he needed to, and then pushed when he needed to. And I think sometimes the best drivers are the people who know when to push and know when not to push. And we know Hamilton is great at that, great at managing his tyres and great at creating wonderful races, which him and Verstappen did do. Because let's be honest, Hungary isn't the best racetrack in the world, but this year, last year, and last few races we've had at Hungary have been fantastic races. So I cannot praise them enough for what they did yesterday. Edward says in the comments, Toto said he never wants to go through what Rosberg and Hamilton put him through. So doubt he would have Russell and Norris together, 2 drivers who think they are number one. That is exactly the problem. And Norris would have to accept being a number 2 driver to be in Mercedes, which I don't know whether he'll want to do. And it also depends whether Toto Wolff will be there at that point, because I do have a feeling he's not got long left. I think there was rumours he was going to go last season. But No one. He was rumored to go next last season, but he stayed. I think he'll have about 3 or 4 more years in the game before he goes. I think he might go when Hamilton goes, and then maybe the new regime might think differently and might want Russell and Norris fighting against each other. But we'll have to see what happens. What has Alfred said? No one gives Verstappen a fright. He is Alfred. You've gone right. Well, what can I say? This is the same guy that rates Edinson Cavani as a player. So I'm not. If he's the one that knows F1, then he doesn't know F1. He knows F1 as much as he knows football. But there you go. Nippin, did you have any questions for me before we wanted to finish? If anyone else has any questions in the comments, please write them down and we'll answer them for this last 10 minutes that we're on.
It's not F1 related, but it's coming home!
Of course, Nippin had to mention this. I mean, it isn't F1 related, but we'll let it slide. It is coming. It's not coming home. It's came home. It came home. It is home. It's here. Well, it is what it is. Here we go. Alfred laughing because, it's never coming home for Australia. Not in football. Not in rugby.
They'll probably win the Asia Cup, to be fair.
Who gives us that? Nothing. But that's like saying, I won the Community Shield.
How? Asia Cup is like the Euros. But
no one really cares about the Asia Cup too much. Who's the best team in the Asia Cup?
Probably South Korea.
South Korea. Oh, it's just Son FC.
Now they have that Hwang Hee-chang kid from Wolves. He's decent.
Nippy, next thing you know, you're going to say he'd challenge. It's time for Chelsea.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Anyone in the comments, does anyone have a question? Alfred, do you have a question that is football related? That is not football related, that is Formula One related? Anyone that is in the comments, give us a question. Edward, I know you've given us lots of questions, but if you've got any more, let us know, as long as it's not about the GOAT, but Max Verstappen, and we will answer them for you in this last 5 minutes that we are on.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on Red Bull fans burning a Lewis Hamilton shirt?
I forgot about this. Nippin, see, this is why I need you on. You remind me of the important topics. Now, before Edward comes in and says, there's probably some Mercedes people that have burnt a Red Bull shirt, I do not condemn anyone burning any sort of shirt like that. Not like that, not in public, not on videos. I see people doing it together with their own shirts. I find you're embarrassing if you do that, but I think just there is some form of respect. I get that football is very tribalistic and that happens, but Formula One is not like that.
I hate tribalism in general. Tribalism in general.
Exactly.
Tribalism. I'm sorry to bring football back into this, but do you remember after the Liverpool fans got tear gassed in Paris? I saw a lot of our own fan base and Man United fans saying, good, hope they never return.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I think
that is scummy. I'm sorry, that's just a scummy attitude to have.
Yeah, but I do think
you should learn to separate football from human life. I'm sorry.
Definitely. As Edward kind of said, football fan mentality coming into F1 isn't good for the sport. So you agree with you. That is good. Me and Edward are agreeing a bit too much here. I don't like this. Something's wrong. Me and Edward are agreeing on a lot of things today. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just it shouldn't be an F1 for anyone. Anyone doing it is ridiculous. I think they should be chucked out of the F1 circuit straight away. But unfortunately, you are going to get a few idiots. And unfortunately, I don't even think it's football fan mentality. I just think it's human mentality at the moment. I think the human race is going down a weird path at the moment with a lot of different things. So it's unfortunately no. That's a simple answer. There you go. I think it's something that just needs to be stamped out quickly, and hopefully the Formula One community can do that very quickly and very well, which I did see on Twitter. A lot of people condemning it. I didn't really see anyone agreeing with it, even Mercedes Red Bull fans, which is good to see, apart from odd ones, but I blocked them, so it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, and by the way, I'm sorry for the AC running in the background. I just don't want my phone to. I just don't want my phone to overheat and crash.
That's fine. I it's not. It's not. I don't hear it too much, so that's good. Nothing. Edward, thoughts on Porsche and Red Bull? See, Edward, this whole mic thing ruined my schedule in terms of for the stream, so I forgot to talk about this. I do think it is a very good deal for Red Bull. I think Porsche are very big brand, and they are very good in motorsport in general. I think Porsche will come into F1. I think they will do very well. Whether Red Bull / Porsche, when they do come in, whether they might have a year where they're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing, and then they get used to it for the next season and smash it. Whether that happens is another question, which I do hope so, because then it gives a chance for the GOAT to win his 8th World Championship properly, an actual, well, it would technically be his 9th, just saying, but, it won't be, he won't have it screwed over this time. But I do think Red Bull and Porsche will do very well together, and it will be a sustained challenge for Mercedes in the future, because I think they will work very well together. And I've always said that I think Honda have never been very good. And I do think, as Edward has just said, BMW, Alfa Romeo happening, big car companies, that you always look at, this is what the thing, when you look at F1, even if you are a novice, you've not watched a lot of F1, you always notice.
I'm still a novice, Matt.
Yeah, Nippon is fairly still a novice. You're not quite a novice. You know some of your stuff. You're just not quite me and Edward level. But
Edward, even Steve Featley TV. Shout out to him.
Yes, big up Steve Featley TV. If you haven't subscribed to him, make sure you do right now. Not right now. Once we have finished this. But yeah, I think you look at all the best teams are all the ones that are the engine manufacturers. Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, their own one. Alpine are struggling, but they've just come into it. Again, Aston Martin. But I think you having Porsche in, having BMW in, having Alfa Romeo in properly. These big car companies, they know how to make cars, especially the ones that have been in Formula One before or been in motorsport before, like BMW, Porsche, etc. They will smash it. They will get in and they will know what to do. They know how to run their teams and they'll smash it. I think this could be very good for F1. Almost going back to the old days. Now, what I think they need to do is deregulate these cars a little bit more, allow them to be a bit more free of what they can do, and then we'll get proper racing like we did in the old days, obviously with the safety aspects of what is going on now. Alfred, Edward, why are we agreeing so much? I don't like this. Say something that I disagree, like Verstappen is the GOAT, please, because I'm agreeing with you too much at the moment.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Nippon, I see it's 4:00, so obviously you do have to go for your interview, and I don't want to make you late. But thank you for coming on very last minute to help with me and Wayne's technical issues. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully your interview goes well.
Yep, I'll see you all later. Subscribe to NS Sports TV and the British Lifestyle Blogger if you haven't already. Road to 1K is in full swing.
Yes, big up, Nippon. I'll put your stuff in the description below, and I'll make sure everyone subscribes to that. So Nippon, I'll let you go, and then I'll finish up the outro by myself. So big up to you, and hope your interview goes well.
Big up. See you soon.
See you soon. Right, so here we go. So just me alone now. So thank you all for coming on. Sorry for the issues with the communication. I'll blame it on Wayne for saying it was my mic, making me work 25 minutes to fix a mic that wasn't broken. Luckily, I brought in Nippon. I should have brought him in earlier, so we figured that out. But there you go. We will be back. Obviously, it is the summer break now, but we will give you some content in between. My ideas, I will go give you. We will be doing some tier list streams First of all, what we will do is we do current F1 and rumoured F1 tracks to come back. We'll do a tier list of how they're good, bad, don't want them in the calendar anymore. We'll go through a couple other tracks. So if you do want any tracks included in that's not in the current F1 calendar, make sure you comment them down below and we'll add them in. We'll also go through kind of a general driver tier list, and that will hopefully get us through the summer break. Any big news comes in as well, we'll go live straight away for that. We apologise for the last few weeks. Obviously, as Wayne said, I've been busy with graduating and other stuff, which meant Sadiq was supposed to come on and obviously help stream and run the channel for a little bit, but then his internet is gone completely AWOL for, well, we don't know when it comes back. So unfortunately, it meant we had to take a couple of weeks break, which isn't greatest for the channel growth, but it is what it is. We'll be back running and we will push through this summer break and what will be the break because of the Russian Grand Prix. That was another 3 weeks, but we will get content out for you. Also expect to see a potential vlog from me going back to one of the karting circuits in Britain that is very well known in the karting world. People like Jenson Button, Lando Norris, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton have all drove there before in their karting years. So I will be driving that with a bunch of friends, and hopefully we'll get some content out for you to see how good I was at karting, or how bad I am now at karting compared to what I was before. So make sure you tune in for that. We're currently at 29 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe and get us to 40 subscribers by the start of the new Formula One second half of the season. We are at 6 likes right now. If you get us to 10 likes, that would be appreciative. Obviously, Nippin, Wayne, thank you for coming on. Hopefully the signal, we will get the stuff, all the audio sorted next time. Thank you, Edward, Jose, Alfred, Nippin. Big up to all of you coming on to the channel in the comments. Anyone else, just make sure if you want to comment, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you never miss another stream, and you'll be able to comment whenever you like. This is Matt signing out. This is Worldwide On signing out, doing it because technical issues once again, but the countdown starts now.